All right. How are you all doing? Hopefully not bored out of your minds. Let me know if stream is looking good. Right. Um, I'm doing some Ivy Bridge benching today, and I'm also having some disaster food, some Vietnamese beef pho, or however you pronounce that. I don't usually eat on stream, but I've had so many issues setting this up that I decided to save a bit of time this way. Right, so loop 19 not exact. I do realize that my chat box is broken. I might try and fix that on stream. I don't know, but um, we'll see. So Ivy Bridge, this is a completely unbinned 3770K. By the way, just yeah, if you want to talk about non-overclocking related things, that's fine. I think these are unprecedented times, so anything off topic goes. Like I say, my chat box is broken, but I still have the chat in front of me on my laptop, so it's all good. So this is 2800 RAM on Sammy's 91212, and it was only a loop 19 not exact, and that was 5 minutes 27. I'm just going to note that down for my own posterity. How are you all doing? Are you still benching? So that was a loop 19, 5 min 27 sec. So I'm only at 2.1 on the RAM volts. I'm just gonna double check that my fans are spinning as high as they could. Yes, they are. So let's just go. That's right. 2.1 is the max. I knew there was something I had to consider here. Can we up the? I mean, loop 19 is pretty good already. If we can up maybe SA. So 1.2 is 1.2 is stock. Working most days. Well, it's good to still be working. I know a few people who've lost their jobs already, so I'm not trying to say that working is easy at the moment, given all the restrictions in place and stuff, and possibly the extra work that your employer is getting you to do. But in most circumstances, probably still better than losing a job. Okay, let's just go 500 millivolts at a time. ASRock is a bit funny compared to other stuff. Where's all of our load line calibrations? There's an iGPU and there's a CPU, but there's no DRAM. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Okay, so we've got the Gunzi and Ginger and QuickMew. Hi QuickMew, I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're well. I send my regards to your edge of the galaxy. I mean, loop 19 is almost there. We just need a little bit more volts. I wonder if I should volt mod this board. That'd be kind of funny. Okay, let's just do exactly the same as we were doing before. Sandy has you are well, and thanks. Yeah, I mean, you can probably see that it's sunny outside. I don't usually stream during the day because I have better things to do, but since there's a restriction on public gatherings and leaving your house in my country at the moment, I think a daytime stream is probably one of the few fun things left to do after you have exhausted your Netflix viewing list. So we want 78 16K. There we go. And I'm just gonna start my timer as well. So this is actually not a normal stream time for me. I also have only had, I think, one other stream in 2020. There's been a lot going on, so let's see if that that SA. And I realize my FPS is kind of choppy on my face cam here, so that's a bit annoying. I tried to debug it earlier. Kung Flu vanishes. Yeah, not sure about that. So no. So this is a 2700K, and that's actually what I wanted to stream today, but it kept on dropping the inside channel. But what I realized on this board is that it's or on this socket rather, it's very sensitive to mounting pressure for the inside slots. So I might give this another go. It's a 54x multiplier, 2700K. So it's decent. I'm gonna sell it. Hi Twopic, hope you're well. Send my regards from Australia to wherever you are. Stay safe. Yeah, I don't think Kung Flu is gonna disappear anytime soon. Australia is doing quite well compared to many countries, compared to Europe, compared to the US, but we still have restrictions in place. So yeah, it's quite nice. So it crashed. Maybe I'll just go down to 99 BCLK or something and see how that goes. Or I can just, okay, let's push SA a little bit more even. I mean, 1.2 is nothing. God, my experience with Ivies is almost non-existent. So yeah, I've only streamed once this year, and unfortunately the VOD disappeared. I didn't save it in time, I didn't export it to YouTube in time, and I didn't archive it on Twitch on time, so that was some sort of FX benching, I think. So let's try that again. We can start our timer. How's the current world situation affecting all of you guys' benching? Are you doing more or less benching? Because I've actually been doing less benching. I've been really busy at work and just not feeling like benching is at the top of my priority list. But now I'm starting to realize that it's one of those hobbies that could be useful in while being stuck inside. So I'm sort of starting to pick it back up. Hey, Keep Hayden. How you doing? How's the house purchase going? You still going through with it? Or are you just putting all your money into LN2? This is my disaster food. Alright, so we're at loop 3. Yeah, it's I don't know if you would still call it ramen noodles, because it's actually the it's never gonna focus, is it? It's the flat wide noodles. So it's not your typical pot noodle. Ah, LN2 being purchased. My situation is I don't think. I mean, I think my LN2 guy might deliver if I asked him to, but I. It's always a bit dicey because I get my LN2 delivered just on a residential street, and even I get it delivered usually sort of 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and which is fine. I mean, I don't think we're disturbing anyone, but police cars do sometimes pass, and even have a chat with my delivery guy, asking him, what he's doing there and stuff. And it's always fine. The police, I mean, we're not doing anything illegal or whatever, but I would assume that in the current situation, we might be asked to stop it, or maybe even given us on the spot fine. So I don't really want to risk that. What I might do eventually, depending on how long this all goes on for, is actually drive for an hour and a half to pick it up straight from, I mean, not from the source, but from my delivery guy. So that's out in the countryside, so that's less of a risk of being considered a non-essential public gathering, or whatever the term is. But as it stands, I'm just kind of doing a lot of air binning and stuff. I'm usually really sort of against, or sorry, chiller binning. I'm sort of against that in a way. I like to just bin things on LN2, but with the current situation, I've started to realize that, okay, so loop 11 not exact. Can I maybe enable some sort of like overvoltage LN2 mode? Don't think it has an LN2 mode on the board. Yeah, extreme voltage, that's what I was looking for. So now I'm going to go back to auto here, and I should be able to do like 2 point. Oh, that's right, it still doesn't increase the DRAM. Yeah, we may just not have enough for 2800, which on Ivy is pushing it anyway. So let's go baby steps. Yeah, that might even do it. So I've okay, let's catch up on chat. 105 liters every weekend. So keep whatever you've been benching. I saw you did a little bit of AM3, AM4 stuff, so that's really nice to see. But what else have you been doing? I think you did 10980XC as well, just for 2D. Oh, contactless LN2 delivery. That's nice. Let's just double check that all our clocks are set. Yeah, that might even do it. I mean, we got as far as 1.9. Or sorry, loop 19 rather. I wonder how you would run Sammy on this board. If you froze it, maybe? I was having issues with PSC earlier, so that's why I switched to Sammy. I mean, 27 something is not bad for Ivy. Yeah, I did a little bit of third generation AM4 chips for Country Cup, and I really didn't enjoy it. I know you have a better IMC there than second gen, but the fact that it doesn't do full pot easily and stuff. It just puts me off it. 290 lightnings, nice. I have a couple of those as well. Let me see if I can get my chat box working again, because it's kind of annoying looking down all the time. I had to re-image my streaming PC, so that's one of the reasons. No, I'm not installing software to get a chat box. That's retarded. So loop 6. Once I get it past, I'll up the CPU multiplier. Man, how? So yeah, because I had to re-image my streaming PC, I don't actually remember what chat box I had because, yeah, I don't know. I set it up once years ago at this point, and I don't remember how I did it because it just kept working perfectly. Loop 10. Yeah, I think keep, because I think I watched a couple of your streams and you were just using your phone, which was actually quite good quality. Yeah, but a separate PC is definitely good. I don't know. Do you have a capture card yet? What's the? Let's see if this. So this is my kit. Well, obviously I go a bit overboard on the camera stuff because I use it for other things too. Capture cards, microphone. Have a couple of these cam links. I don't know. I don't really use the speakers on stream. I've had plans to, but actually I'm on the M-ATX version of this board. Stream Deck is pretty handy for switching scenes and stuff, but I'm on air cooling. Yeah, get an internal one. The Elgato stuff is pretty okay. So we're loop 15, so we're getting close to potentially passing further than the furthest we've ever passed. Hi, the web code. I think you're new to the stream, so basically the idea is this is an overclocking stream. So over here we've got our rig set up, and then obviously the main view is running a benchmark. So this benchmark is called SuperPi 32M, and at the moment I'm basically doing memory testing. So yeah, I don't know if you were browsing the science and technology category or something. Welcome. I hope you enjoy it. This is not your average stream. There's probably less than I know for a fact that there's less than 10 people doing this in the world. We've got Keep Hayton, who's in the chat, is another streamer. Then there's Steponzi, Joe. He's been on Gamers Nexus before. He does streams pretty much once a week. There's Buildzoid, people like that. I think I have a list of streams somewhere that's a little bit outdated, but probably still worth having a look at. Yeah, so I don't know. This is just my own list that I've put together. So Buildzoid, Keep Hayton, Samza is in Spanish only. Dr. Wheeze has a really good archive of old live streams, but he's just really busy in real life at the moment, so he hasn't streamed in months. Bearded Hardware, which is Stepanzi I talked about. Then there's French Legion does some streaming, but in French. And then Overclocking TV is basically defunct at the moment. But maybe they'll come back, who knows. This is quite nice. Oh, are you doing COVID-19 falling at home? 64 threads, so that's Threadripper. All right. So we have a result. That's pretty sweet. Okay, so here's our CPZ, which I only just copied over. This is a fresh Barbona OS. Yeah, this is not bad at all. Don't think any of these screenshot utilities are working currently for some reason. Oh, here we go. Okay. 7 minutes 5. Typing is hard, isn't it? All right, so $3970X, sweet. 3600 mems is decent. Okay, let's save this profile in case it didn't already. All right, let's go for 50 multiplier. Yes, Windows XP. By far the best overclocking OS of all time. All right. So maximum is set, and Encore is synchronous with Ivy. Might start getting my Waza on soon, depending on when we hit the max. All right. I don't know what a PPD is, but sounds good. Thanks for doing your part. Folding protein, is it? Is that what you have to do to fight the virus? Yeah, VWeb. I'm overclocking the CPU right now. So I haven't done folding in years. Like it used to be just folding, and I'm guessing they've gamified it now, and you get like awards and things. So yeah, what I've been doing is I've been doing a little bit of sort of air ambient binning. I've rediscovered the uses of liquid metal under IHSs and stuff, because I always had to. I used to just always use my bad paste for ambient, and that really backfires. So now I always put liquid metal under the IHS. I ran through my Kaby Lake X chips. I want to sell my 7640X, and the buyer wanted to know Cinebench 15 on ambient, and I was able to do 5.55 at 1.45 volts. I haven't run my 7740X in a while, so I ran that at the same settings, and I was only able to do 5.35, which, you know, with the addition of hyperthreading, I would say that 5.55 no hyperthreading is probably like 5.45 hyperthreading on, or maybe 5.4. So anyway, it's still a worse chip. My 7640X did 7.15 gigahertz single threaded on LN2. So I would expect my 7740X not to be that great. I bought it from a seller who's known to be a scammer. He told me it was 7.1 gigahertz pi fast, but I'm starting to not believe that. So I think I'm going to sell both of them. I got my Rampage 6 Apex working again, quad channel on with Skylake X. So I got a few 10 core globals on my 7900X. I don't know, I'm sort of a little bit off 3D benching at the moment, mostly 2D. Yeah, trying to bin some things, trying to sell some things. Put in a little bit of an upgrade on my NAS where I store all my overclocking images. I've been building new images. Like I've sort of realized that my XPs are not great. They're good because they have all of the InOS overclocking utilities and timing configurators and stuff installed on them, but they're really slow for 32M. So now I'm using the bare bone image, and it means I can't really install the InOS overclocking utilities and things, but it's good enough for binning at least. For LN2, I'll have to find another solution of maybe modifying this image so that some of those tools that I need can be installed again. So it was a 7-minute 5, and now we're at 3 minutes 9 for loop 12, so roughly double it. We're talking probably about a 6 minute 30 or so, 6 minutes 35, somewhere in that ballpark. Loop 19. So much has changed about Twitch since I last used it. It's good that they're not standing still. VCore is 1.5, I think. Oh, so Ewan broke the 630. That's nice. $626. So yeah, it's a bit annoying to have to reboot for every multiplier change and stuff, but this OS is really fast, so let's save this profile. Let's see if we can boot 52. It's crazy that how we end at 2.1 for the DRAM, but CPU will probably go to like 2.2 or something. 2.1 as well. Okay, fair enough. Oh, okay then. Baby steps. 51 multiplier. Simulating the docking station where the virus connects. Alright. Okay, 51 does actually boot in. At least the internet is nice and fast, or at least there's no hiccups there. So yeah, this OS, 37 megabytes of RAM usage at idle. It's just really good. Getting when you build your own OS, getting it below 50 or 45 is already hard, at least for a novice like myself. So how's spring over there in Europe? Have you had some sunny days yet? I don't even particularly know what I should be aiming for in terms of time. So let's have a look. This is where I keep my all my notes on Dropbox paper. Quite enjoy it. Okay, so 5 minutes 51 at 5.4 gigs. Let's see if there's real VCore in here. 1.6. Yeah. My chiller is set to 19 Celsius. Might just be a really good chip. I don't necessarily want to degrade this chip. Lower multi, higher bus. Alright. What was our last one? Was 6 minutes 26. So let's see. God, there's so many results. Hold on. There's a better way to do this. Even top 200 is all LN2 on here. 6 minutes 26. So, oh wow. This is obviously a really efficient run. 5G. So that's what we're sort of competing against. It's on PSC RAM. So now we're at sort of more in the 6 minute 10 range. Let's see. Do 12 of 3 minutes and 6. 3 minutes and 1. Okay. So it's more like 620-ish. Three minutes and 4. All right. Three minutes and 7. So this is somewhere at 5.3 on a maximum is 5 extreme, and 3 minutes and 6.7. Yeah, so we're just beating this guy. Oh, CL11 RAM. No wonder. What about this guy? That's slightly more respectable. Yeah, alright. What's a good 1M speed? 5.5 gigahertz at 1.6. That's crazy. I would probably degrade it. Loop 21. So 619. Why does this OS have extensions on by default? Let's clean up our desktop. Does the timing configurator work? Probably. Oof, that's a hard no. Hi, Harbor Barbecue. Yeah, let's try 5.5, 52 mult. I'm doing well. All things considered, how are you doing? Let's get a quick valid out. Oh yeah, the lockdown is pretty strict, isn't it? As long as you still have food and stuff, I suppose. All right, it seems to be running. That's good. So now we can think about maybe beating the next guy up. Shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. So this guy is at 5.3 and his loop 3 is 47, 48 and mine's 47.5. So next, let's see, WebSmile, our favorite RAM binner, WebSmile. Yeah, DFI. I wish it was DFI. No, it's an OC formula. 48.1. So we're actually beating WebSmile as well. What's WebSmile running? He's on pretty good PSC, but 5G. So obviously that's not a fair comparison. Delhi, another big bencher. Windows 7 and still 300 milliseconds ahead. Let's see, 17 seconds. Let's see if we're in the 15 seconds range. So we have 1 minute 32.7 loop 6. Loop 7 is out, 1 minute 47. Okay, still beating this guy by quite a bit. So low 6 minutes 14s. 229. Yeah, we're a little bit behind this person, but we might catch up with the better RAM. Yeah, the RAM is better. So let's keep an eye on that. So currently it's 2 minutes 18. Hold on, this is actually the wrong screenshot. This is a 1M screenshot. Time to report. All right, next person up. So 3 minutes 3 to loop 12, and here we have, yeah, we're 100 milliseconds ahead. That's nice. And this person's at 5.2 with plebish PSC. Would help if I knew how to spell. Video and audio is good and all that, at least. I know there's a slight issue with this camera being like a little bit weird in terms of frame rate, but hopefully everything else is okay. So loop 16, we are at 403.6. Yeah, we're still just 100 milliseconds ahead, so we're not. You've seen way worse cam feeds. Yeah, that is the funny part about the lockdown, how they're doing the late night shows on YouTube now, from their own homes, the hosts' own homes, and they have really bad camera and audio setup, so that's kind of funny. And even when you watch like the 24-hour news channels and reporters are reporting in from their own homes in quarantine, their webcams are really bad too. And I suppose it makes sense. It's not really that easy to go out and buy a new camera in that kind of situation. Six 13 188. Okay. See if we can go one multiplier higher. looks like it's posting at least. There seems to have been some sort of voltage wall there where it didn't want to do more than 5.1 at 1.5 volts, but now it's potentially even happy to do 5.25-ish. Oh no, I think it's stuck. $180 for C922. Okay. Is it because of people working from home? Come on, bias. It's really on the edge, isn't it? Yeah. Zoom. This is annoying. All right, basically, well, that's not what I wanted to do. 1 second. Thanks for the host, Hardware Barbecue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just reseat the CPU because this board has this weird tendency to want to, I don't know, like to basically not clear CMOS properly once overclocking has failed. And the solution I've found is to reseat the CPU, which is not a great solution, I have to admit. I don't know where it comes from. It must be an ASRock thing. And now it works. That's all it takes. It doesn't even have to be a different CPU. You just have to pull the CPU and put it back in again. Really weird. Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right, I'm just gonna remount everything. Any questions or any particular bits of hardware you'd like to see overclocked on stream? 12-volt PSUs. I haven't really been following that. Is that more for mining or for like home theater PCs or something? LGA 775. Well, I do have a second X6800 that I really want to try, and I might be buying a QX 9650 from Tapica. So yeah, 775. I'll keep that in mind. I might actually do that. Not Wolfdale though, because I'm not sure if my Rex is really good at high BCLK. The alien is essential, of course. Oh, okay. Like do sort of like a podcast kind of thing. That could work. Just less air. Oh, you're talking about the French accent. Yeah, that's a possibility. Ah, I forgot to connect the HDMI. That's dumb. EVGA is very generic. I've tried to watch their show before, and it's too much about gaming. It's not about overclocking. So should I try 53 multiplier again with the risk of having to reseat my CPU again? Let's go just a little bit higher on voltage 575. I think that's about the limit without killing the chip or degrading it in some way. And to be honest, even that, this doesn't seem to be posting. Oh. I didn't have the drive attached. Aussie invasion. Alright. It's probably getting too hot at this point. 32 degrees according to the BIOS. Storage is IDE. Alright, let's just try. Let's go back down. Let's try the SuperPi 32M tweaker. It exists on a lot of different boards, but it's a bit hit and miss whether the tweaker actually does anything. So let's just it's mouse not attached. So the BIOS reset thing is really weird. So I've tried the there's a button in the I/O shield, the I/O area of the board. There's a jumper next to the battery, and there's obviously pulling the battery as well. And it just doesn't seem to, I don't know what weird state it goes into, but even switching to the backup BIOS doesn't help. You have to just reseat the CPU, which like obviously clears the CMOS. And it's not that clearing CMOS doesn't work at all on this board. It's just that in the situation where CPU overclock has failed so badly that he can't post, it seems to have trouble clearing CMOS. So this is what we had before, which was 52 mult. And now let's try with the tweaker on. Available mem was 56.4. I'll just set it as background, to be honest. Yeah, forgot that. Whatever, if the tweaker does something, it should even be faster than the other one. Slower initial. Don't know about loop 2. Loop 1. It's the autumn here, but still quite hot with all the heat coming from the rig and the streaming PC and the chiller. 32.4, yeah, so slower. Okay. Hopefully this is set up okay. Okay, that fails. Should be C to E, and then E to C. Yeah. And then C to E, E to C. And then what's PS? This is not my image. It just applies real time. All right. Still good to go. Directory, I guess. Yeah, let's put a. First time I usually just use the other tool, so. Yeah, still slow. See if we can bump the BCLK a little bit. It's the only thing with these really stripped XPs. They take a while to boot up. Almost below 4.2. That's not bad. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a 10980 XC. 7900X is about as good as it's going to get at the moment. Let's see if we can move up a bit. So 1 minute 32.547, loop 6. No, still slower than this guy. Yeah, the $do is falling, that's for sure. I wonder what kind of score infrared has up here. PSC. Yeah, that's not bad. How did it go again? I think do they start soldering in the 9000 series or the 10,000 series? Because depending on your use case, the 7000 series might actually be better because you can run a direct die on stuff without having to delid a solder chip. So, but then, I mean, it depends. If you really like cache, then I think the 10,000 series added more cache per core. So, yeah, 9000 series. That's what I thought. Yeah, still slightly behind. Yeah, then get a 7 if you already invested in the frame. But I think the probably the best value for money would be stuff that isn't the highest core count. So I would say that maybe the 12, 14 and 16 cores are worth looking at. The 10 core is probably a bit iffy now because 10 cores coming out on the smaller socket, on the mainstream socket. Ooh, I'm actually starting to catch up a bit here. So what is it? Loop 16, 120 milliseconds behind or so. Less than 100 milliseconds on loop 17. I mean, with the competition from the 3900X and 3950X, I would imagine that the 12 and 16 core have gone down a bit in price. Loop 19, where are we at? Yes, Still behind by 100 milliseconds or so. What about Windows XP? Have you seen that in a while? Hopefully this passes. Well, there's a Windows 7 ISO on the forums. Z490, yeah, could be interesting. Oof. Really caught up in the end there. Actually beat the guy I was comparing against by a second, but was behind on every loop until the last one, so that's interesting. Okay, this is the last thing I'm going to do on the stream, is work on the Waza a little bit. And for that, I'm going to copy over the utility, the magic utility. SuperPi tweaker. Let's see if we can get a basic Waza going. I think, I mean, Sandy is known to be tricky to gain time on with Waza, but I think Ivy was one of the, if I remember right, it's one of the platforms that Waza's more easily. So while that's yeah. I mean, this is a little bit of an older ISO, but there's a Win7 ISO. All right. Let's see how we go. I mean, this is literally from the time of the release of Zen 1, so it's like a 2017 Win 7, and Win 7 only went into end of life April 2019, so you're missing like 2 years of updates, but I think that's all right for at least for benching purposes. I mean, you can always just connect to your NIC and update it anyway. 35-second sleep is usually too long, but we'll see how things go. For XP, yeah, you would probably have to where's that. No, I mean, I'm sure there's semi-legitimate sources of that around. I can't remember where I got my ISO from. Uh, so long ago now. The only issue is I'm so close to the edge of stability for the RAM, we might have a fail because of the Waza putting more pressure on the RAM. But we'll see. So for a 6-minute run, I'm gonna try and predict this. We're at 6 minutes 12 at the moment. It's not gonna take 12 seconds off. So the init is already under 4.2. That's nice. It might have that, so we might end up with a 6-minute 6 if it passes. 17.1 is a good loop one. Wow, we're actually beating infrared, I think. Or maybe he just had a good end of the run. So a 32 flat loop 2, yeah, it's looking very good. Let's see about the next person up. Still faster than this. Let's see if we can beat our mate Freakazoid. 1 minute 1.9. I mean, there's a chance. It's not impossible. What about Minkies? Yeah, we're right around this guy. Loop 6 is a 131.79, so 60 milliseconds faster. And this guy is also on okay, on a good board, good RAM frequency and timings. And 100 more megahertz, but no hyperthreading disabled or anything like that. What cooling method is that even? 6.7. Yeah, 1.67 is pretty crazy, I think. I don't think you should push Ivy that much on I mean obviously everyone can do with their hardware whatever they want, but yeah, that's a lot. Thanks all for showing up. especially after such a long break. We're actually drifting a bit here, so still 100 milliseconds or so ahead, but I have to keep an eye. Where's my fresh air? Wouldn't it be nice to get below 3 minutes for loop 12? Hopefully I can stream once a week again now. Stopping yourself from going mad, that implies that we're not mad already. It's a big assumption to make. It's still less than 100 milliseconds on every second loop, so I haven't really been buying much hardware or anything like that. I think we're gonna beat this guy, but I mean, this is what happens when a generation of CPU was benched on LN2 so much and goes full pot. You can have a pretty decent ambient result, and it gets you 0.2 hardware points. I don't know, guys. What's the verdict? Should I keep this chip? It seems very average. I mean, I sort of want to try it on LN2 anyway, just in case, but it's definitely not impressing me that much, I have to say. 6 minutes 9. Let's do without CDT. Probably want less of a sleep as well. I mean, CDT is a platform specific thing, but usually less sleep means more likely to fail, but better was potentially. I could up the size of it as well. It does seem middle of the road, and it's the first 3770K I've tried at all, so I can only go off of what other people are doing. Okay, that's an identical in it. Slower loop one, I think. Pretty sure that's a slower loop one. Yeah, quite a bit slower actually. Okay, so we want CDT. So we want CDT, and let's up the size of our Waza. I mean, bigger than the available memory size is pretty pretty ridiculous, but let's try like 480 maybe. I should start putting the Waza size in my screenshots as well. Out of water. That's a surefire sign that it's getting towards the end of the stream. The worst platforms actually are the ones for which CopyWaza is so heavy that you actually get a crash due to the CPU. It's really annoying because then you have to quickly upclock after Waza. Five, 6, 8, 2. That sounds good. Oof. What a horrendous initial, but sometimes it catches up on later loops. Maybe I ran too quickly after the Waza. Let's give it another couple of loops. But it's not looking good. Yeah. Alright. That was too big. 47.1 is pretty horrendous. Yeah, so I was doing some vulnerabilities testing on ScalaX. So I tested the oldest bias on the ASUS website versus the newest one, and I found the older one was faster. So I'll have to, but there's some problems with that because one of the issues is that the newer bias allows you up to 240% current capability for the CPU, and the old one only 140. So I'm hoping to find a bias somewhere in the middle that will give me the 240 but not the performance penalty. Yeah, this is looking even worse, isn't it? This is horrendous. All right, let's see if we can quickly do something with the sub timings, and then I'll do one more run. Never noticed this option before, actually. '41, '42 isn't too bad. Where's our TRS? I think this might go down to like 96 or something. Let's try the tweak again um with Waza on. Well, that didn't work. Okay, let's try 100 again actually, because we got pretty close. And where's our DRAM VTT? I'm struggling to even. Oh no, that's reboot. If VTT isn't automatically being set to half, then that might explain some things. Yeah, that looks just plain wrong. Is it it's not a monitored voltage. Well, no wonder we couldn't get 2800 to pass. Uh, okay. Okay, I'm starting to see why this board is not good for Sammys. If the max VTT you can set as 0.9, then that's a bit of an issue. Okay, let's see if we can pass using that. Yeah, I mean, it's no there's two sets of mitigations. There's bias based mitigations, and then there's OS based ones, and I think they somehow interact as well. So some of the microcode doesn't become activated unless the OS activates it, I think. But basically, from the OS side, everything's fine. I'm using such old OSs that there's going to be no mitigations in there. But from the bias side, I still saw a performance impact with the newer BIOS. So there's some stuff that's just a BIOS only mitigation. So there you have to go with an old BIOS. I think that's right. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It's all a bit hazy still, but should we do a quick run just without Waza? Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's. So I think I just did everything standard. Problem is, if that VTT issue was the issue with the RAM, then I'm going to have to keep incrementing the BCLK now. Nah, but this is probably more or less the max of these sticks. So we're on our second copy, and then there's a second wait, and hopefully we should be good. For a bit of inspiration, here's the the top Ivy Bridge score on this board. 696 on PSC. Pretty nice. And then obviously almost 7.1 gigahertz, which is just sick. .14. Okay. Seems decent. So 17.078. Actually, it's not that much faster, but we might still catch the Freakazoid though. Yeah. All right. We're just coming up on 2 hours, so yeah. I don't know what I've left to show you guys. This is my little box of CPUs for Cold Wove. They're broken chips. There's a 2700K in there. It's a dead 3970X in here. Some sort of X79 what is it? An ES, and then there's also a dead 4670K. Okay. I need a bit of fresh air. Thank you all for watching. Please, even though I don't put out that much content these days, follow me on Insta and all that. And hopefully until next week. Thanks for watching.